Hi everyone, this is Ryan in the Simperman Learning Commons studio, and I am here to tell you about how to set up the Moodle gradebook and provide grades and feedback to students in your Moodle course. First of all, go to the course you'd like to set up your gradebook in. I'm going to use the demo course that I have set up here. And the first thing you need to do is head to that course management icon there in the top left-hand corner. Click that. It'll bring up a pop-up menu and you'll see Gradebook Setup right here. So go ahead and head to Gradebook Setup. And now it's time to get started. First of all, I want to give you a brief orientation of what's happening here in Gradebook Setup. I have two assignments in here already that have been set up from another activity. And I want you to notice that their max grades are 100 points each. This means that each of those assignments right now are worth 50% of the overall grade in the course. That makes sense, right? So the weight column tells us what percentage these items are worth. Now let's add a grade item and see what happens there. So adding a grade item is the equivalent of putting in just a number from something that's happening outside of Moodle. So if you're doing a quiz or a forum with ratings or a workshop or something like that, it's already going to be sending the grade directly from the activity into the gradebook. But you would only add a grade item if you're doing something outside of Moodle and you want to incorporate it into the gradebook in Moodle. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Grade Item. And all we really have to do here is put the name in. So we'll call this Homework 1, and I'm going to leave the maximum grade at 100. If this was a 10-point assignment, you would put 10 here. If it was a 15-point or a 20-point or a 5-point assignment, you would put the maximum grade in that area there. But I'm going to use 100 to keep things simple, and I'm just going to scroll down and click Save Changes. So now you'll see what's happened here is that these weights have readjusted because now there's a total of 300 points in the course, and the weights are reflecting what their point value is relative to the overall grade. So because each one of these is 100 points, it's a third, or 33.3 repeating percent of the grade. So if I want to change that, I can. All I have to do is check the checkbox here off to the right-hand side, off to the left-hand side of that grade. And let's say that I wanted this one to be worth 50%. And I wanted this one to be worth 25%, and I wanted this one to be worth 25%. All I have to do is put those weights in and click Save Changes, and then you'll see that even though the grades are still the same, all hundreds, the weights have adjusted to what I told them to be, 50%, 25%, 25%. So that way I've readjusted the weightings of the course without changing the point totals in the assignments. Now, sometimes we have categories that we want to classify grades into. That's where you use the Add Category button right here. So I'm going to go ahead and click Add Category. I'm going to call this category Homework. I'll scroll down and click Save Changes. And now you'll see that we have a category line here, Homework, that has a folder icon next to it, showing you that you can put other items in there. So let's say that I wanted to add my homework assignment that I just created into that homework category. All I have to do is come over here and click the checkbox over next to the Homework 1, and then I go Move Selected Items to the Homework category right there. And now you'll see that Homework 1 is nested inside of that homework category. Also, its weight has become 100% because it is 100% of the homework category. It's important to remember that these work like Russian dolls, one nesting inside of the other, so each category will add up to 100%, and the categories themselves then contribute to the course total just like any other item. So this category has the remaining 25% of the points that are left over from the 25% here and the 50% here. Now let's play with this a little bit. I'm going to add another category. I'm going to call it Workshop. I'm going to go ahead and click Save Changes. And now I'm going to do the same thing that I did with that assignment. I'm going to check these two items right here, the Workshop Submission and Assessment. I'm going to move Selected Items to Workshops. And then we'll see that the workshops have been put in and automatically readjusted based on my weights before. So if I uncheck these boxes and click Save Changes, we're going to notice that it's going to recalculate based on the point value of those assignments, 100 points here and 100 points here. So that way it's trying to always have it add up to 100, and if you uncheck those boxes, the weights are going to be evenly distributed based on their point value. So now we have two categories, one of which has these two workshops in it and one of which has a single homework assignment in it. Let's say that I wanted to make workshops as a whole worth 75%, and I wanted to make homework as a whole worth 25%. I'll go ahead and click Save Changes, and now we have workshops counting toward 75% of the overall grade and homework counting toward 25% of the overall grade. This can be used in a lot of creative ways. We can add extra credit, we can add categories inside of categories. So if you have a very specialized grading intention that you would like to talk to me about, please get in touch with me and I'd be happy to talk to you about how to set it up in Moodle. I honestly haven't seen something that the Moodle gradebook can't do accurately and automatically to save you the time of having to create a spreadsheet. So I'm really happy to meet with you and help you out with that. You can find me in Library 231 or send me an email or give me a phone call, and I'm always happy to help you out. Once again, and as always, thanks for watching and happy Moodling.